Once upon a time, in a quiet little village nestled below the famous Argo Hills, lived a wealthy businessman named Amechi. He and his wife, Unkoli, had been married for many years, but they had no children. While Amechi seemed content, Unkoli was heartbroken. She longed for a child, and the burden of childlessness grew heavier with each passing year. One day, Unkoli visited her only sister, Ungosi, and poured out her sorrows. Ungosi, trying to comfort her, suggested that her young daughter, Udodi, come live with Unkoli. Perhaps, she said, the presence of a child will ease your pain. Unkoli agreed. Udodi was just a little girl when she moved in, and Unkoli raised her like her own daughter. Years passed, and Udodi grew into a stunning young woman. Unkoli adored her deeply. But one day, everything changed. Amechi sat Unkoli down and gently told her he was considering taking a second wife. Her heart shattered. But knowing how much her husband desired a child, she reluctantly agreed, believing he would marry a stranger. She had no idea that the woman her husband planned to marry was her beloved niece, Udodi. In secret, Amechi had approached Ungozi to ask for Udodi's hand in marriage. Shockingly, Ungozi encouraged it. She had always envied his sister's life and saw this as a chance to tie her daughter to Amechi's wealth. Amechi, desperate to be a father, convinced himself it was acceptable. After all, Udodi was already family. On the day of the wedding, Unkoli found out the truth. Her niece, whom she raised as a daughter, was marrying her husband. Devastated, Unkoli ran to confront her sister. But Ungosi only laughed. At least it's my daughter, and not some stranger, she said coldly. Unkoli was crushed. She shut herself away, stopped eating, and wasted away in her sorrow. Meanwhile, Udodi embraced her new role as Amechi's wife, showing no remorse. Soon after, Udodi became pregnant. Amechi was overjoyed. Finally, the sound of a child would echo in his home. But as the months passed, Udodi had a dream, one where her aunt Unkoli tried to harm her unborn baby. Frightened, she told Amechi, calling her aunt a witch. Without hesitation, Amechi sent Unkoli away from their home. What he didn't know was Unkoli was already pregnant. She left without a word, disappearing into a far-off village. There, she gave birth to a son and raised him alone. Back in the village, Udodi gave birth to a healthy baby boy named Odinaka. Amechi adored his son and showered Udodi with love and gifts. Life seemed perfect, until one day everything changed. While playing in the forest with friends, Odinaka stumbled upon a strange plate of food. One of the boys, Chika, warned him of an old tale his grandfather told, a tale of a forest spirit that cursed those who ate its food, putting them into a never-ending sleep. Laughing, Odinaka scoffed at the story and took a few bites. Moments later, he collapsed. Udodi rushed to the forest, only to find her son unconscious. He wouldn't wake. Days passed. Panic set in. Desperate, Amechi visited Chika's grandfather, the man who knew the old legends. The elder told him to seek a powerful seer in a distant village who might help. Amechi set off immediately. After hours of travel, he arrived and was directed to a farmer who grew a rare herb said to break the curse. As he waited outside the farmer's hut, a familiar figure emerged. It was Unkuli. Their eyes met. 2 decades of silence vanished in an instant. Amechi stammered, explaining his son's condition and his search for the herb. Unkoli listened, stunned. Then the farmer returned with the herbs. Amechi was speechless when he discovered the farmer was Unkoli's son. His son, the one he never knew. Shaken, Amechi apologized to Unkoli and begged for forgiveness from her and their son Chinedu. He explained everything, and together they returned to his village. Unkoli gave the herb to Odinaka, who soon woke from his cursed slumber. Amechi gathered everyone and revealed the full truth, that Chinedu was his first son, that Unkoli had saved Odinaka's life, and that he had made terrible mistakes. Udodi broke down, confessing that her mother, Ungosi, had forced her to lie about Unkuli being a witch, manipulating her to secure the marriage. The next day, Udodi, Amechi, and Odinaka traveled to Unkuli's village to apologize. Tears flowed. Forgiveness followed. Odinaka and Chinedu, now united as brothers, formed a deep bond. Though their families lived apart, they remained close, having healed what once was broken. The lesson: jealousy can destroy even the strongest bonds, but forgiveness has the power to heal what jealousy breaks. Always treat others with kindness and never let envy guide your actions. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps our channel grow. See you in our next story. Bye.